All right, so I am back with another stream of TryHackMe. We're going to work on something super simple. We're going to do the Windows fundamentals. Um, no, it's not super exciting, but I just want to get it done so I can continue with this learning path, and um, hopefully it'll be helpful to at least somebody out there. So here we go. You get into Windows Fundamentals 1. All right, so it says that they're going to attempt to provide a general overview of just a handful of what makes up the Windows operating system. You're going to navigate around it, make some changes. Um, this is aimed for people who want to understand Windows OS on a more comfortable level. So we're going to start this machine here. And let's see. Write this stuff down. This is something that I would recommend doing if you're going to attempt the TryHackMe rooms. Gotta wait for the IP address countdown to finish. All right. So the IP address is 10.10.202.168. And we're still waiting for my attack machine to open up. Explain like I'm 5, remote desktop protocol. Provides remote display and input capabilities over network connections. If you didn't know, now you know. So I'm going to go here, start typing remote. Okay. So now we got to wait for the machine to issue us a certificate. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Guess it's just going really slow. Waiting on that. Let me see. All right, that's still processing. All right, here we go. So let's look at the certificate, just kind of see what's going on with that. So it says it's not from a trusted certifying authority. But we're going to install it into the current user. Say OK. Might need to call up Cox and upgrade my internet speed. There we go. Get through all this boring stuff. Okay. So did that part. Windows editions. So my first edition of Windows was Microsoft DOS, which was just a command line interface. You didn't have, the ability to have icons on the desktop and all that. Oh, connection error. Let's try reconnecting. Make sure I got the password correct. Yes. I'm wondering. I'm going to see if I can actually connect to it from my computer. No. All right. Machine's been started. So I read the other day that Windows XP still runs on about 5% of desktops. Okay, I don't know why it keeps kicking me off, but you know what? Let me check something. I think I'm just being stupid. So let's look at adapter options. I'm sure you all remember Windows 7, Windows 10. I'm running Windows 11 at the moment. What encryption can you enable on Pro that you can't enable at home? I'm going to say BitLocker. Would you look at that? All right. I'm going to close this for now. All right, so let's explore the desktop. This is a desktop. This is your start menu. You have your Cortana search box. Then your task view. Taskbar. Toolbars. And over here is your notification area. You can't see it because of this little chat window, but I see a lot of people that like to download things directly onto their desktop. There's actually a folder specifically for that. So whenever you download anything from the internet, I would highly recommend bringing it into your downloads folder first and creating folders with regards to where you want everything to go. And of course, they talk about display settings here. You can just right click anywhere on the desktop. That'll give you that menu. So right click. You can change the size of your icons. You go to display settings. Now this can't be changed because it's a remote session, but on a traditional display, like I'll show you here. Display settings. I have two monitors, but this is kind of what it looks like. You can change resolution. You go into advanced display. You go to a 75 hertz refresh rate. Close that. And let's get back to where we were. All right. Personalization, that's if you want to change like your desktop background, if you want to change your fonts, anything of that nature. Change your mouse cursor. So if you don't like the way your mouse looks, let's change it to handwriting. That's probably not going to let me do that. That's all right. All right. So I already talked about the start menu. This is pretty much where all your applications would go. This is your accounts. If you have multiple, you can sign out. So you can sign into a different one. This is where your documents are. Yep. So looks like we're actually on a server. Now this, of course, being just a sandbox that nobody else can really get into it. If you have a long list of events, you can jump to protect. Yes. So this is something cool. If you have a whole lot of programs installed and you just want to be able to jump to whatever it is, if you know the first couple of letters, you can just start typing and it'll start auto-populating. So let's say you want to do updates, just start typing update, and I'll bring that up. Google, Edge isn't on here, but you can see registry Edge there is. So you can just navigate around like that. Let's see. So tiles, I believe, started in Windows 8. And that is, you can personalize this list. Let's do that. Let's do downloads. And let's do File Explorer. And now let's look at it. So there's File Explorer. There's your downloads. So you can jump around that way. Taskbar, still right here. If you have something that you access often, you can go into your Start menu, right click, select More, and pin to your taskbar. It'll show up right there. All right. Which selection will hide, disable the search box? Selection will hide / disable the search box. No. Not sure what they mean by that. So let's reach out to the interwebs. Show search box. Let's read back over this and see if I missed something. Start menu. Taskbar. I'm not quite sure what they're asking here, so maybe that's what they meant. Search. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna use my cheat sheet. Already on Windows Fundamentals. I thought I was better than that, but I guess not. I got that part hidden. Okay, not sure what they meant by hidden, but I mean, I know what hidden means, but the way they asked it was just weird. Show Task View button. It's visible in the notification area. Besides clock and network. See what their hint is. Try right-clicking the icon. See, I can't really see over there. So I'm going to cheat again. All right, Action Center. Anybody see anything that says Action Center? Oh, right there. Oh, of course. All right. So, of course, Windows came out with NTFS. And of course, before that was FAT16, FAT32 file allocation tables, high performance file system. I believe that's still used on Mac, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. What file system does Mac use? NTFS, nope. Hierarchical file system. That was close. All right. So FAT you do still sometimes see in USB devices. And of course, encryption file system is EFS. So let's take a look at, say, for instance, let's just look at all C drive. And we're going to say properties. This is NTFS. So that's that new technology file system. And on NTF volumes, you can set permissions that grant or deny access to files and folders. So you can give someone full control of a folder or a file within that folder. So let's say, for instance, create a text document, and we're going to call this permissions. Let's just write some gibberish in here. I'm going to save that. Okay, gibberish is still there. So we're in this folder documents, and we have this file called permissions. So let's say you want to restrict access to just permissions. You right click on it, security. We can say edit, and since we're the administrator, we can do everything at the moment. But let's say if somebody else, let's say Bob, there's not going to be a Bob, of course, but if there was, we could add him in and allow him to modify it, or just read and execute, or just write it, whatever you want to do there. Let me get back to the task at hand. So here they're talking about changing the properties of an entire folder. And with that, you go to security, same thing. Sharing, this can allow you to share it or not. File system. All right. Let's close that. So C, the C drive, that's traditionally going to be your main drive. Like that's where everything's going to go. The system environment variable for Windows directory is WinDir. So let's go to PowerShell. Say WinDir, Windows directory, not recognized. Maybe let's try WinDir. Nope. But if you go in here to your start menu and you say environment, you can edit the variables there, but we're not going to get into that because right here, environment variables store information about the OS environment. It includes details such as the OS path, the number of processors used, and the location of temp folders. So if you start messing around with that kind of stuff, you'll probably end up with a broken computer. For sure. All right, so System 32 right here, let's make sure we know this, holds the important files that are critical for the operating system. So again, just make sure whenever you're in the Windows folder at all, you kind of know what you're doing, at least a little bit. Dear. All right. Now we're going to talk about accounts, profiles, and permissions. So with Windows, you can either be an administrator or you can be a standard user. Sorry, I'm just replying to one of my LinkedIn folks that I had a class with. We plan on like co-hosting some sort of channel where I create a server that she can connect to and perform compliance audits on. So we're just kind of discussing that. All right. So an administrator can pretty much do what they want. They can add users, delete users, modify groups, modify settings, all that. Whereas a standard user, they can only make changes to folders and files attributed to that user, unless they decide to share something they create with other users. So here's what we're going to do. We are currently logged in as the administrator, as you can see right here. And we are going to click here and we're going to say change account settings. There we are. We are the administrator. But we're going to go to other users. Got TryHackMe as a local account. Or we can add someone else to this PC. Since this is a server, it's going to look a lot different than if it was just a local system. So you would add a user in through Active Directory on this type of setup. It says right here, since you're the administrator, you see an option to add someone else to this PC. Sure thing. But if you were a standard user, you would not see that. If you have just created a user, if it's their first time signing in onto a system, it's going to give them this prompt saying that basically everything's being set up for them. And that's one of the things that can be done via Active Directory is an administrator can say, well, this user can only have access to these particular programs, and they can't install anything on their systems. They can't download anything. And it, of course, depends on where you work and what kind of controls are in place, and policies regarding third-party applications or installing your own software, anything of that nature. So common folders across all profiles. You've got your desktop, your documents, your downloads, your music, and your pictures. All right, what does it want us to do here? So we're going to right click and we're going to run. Well, that's already what we want. So user manager.microsoft services. Yeah, local users and groups. So again, these are all default groups that come pretty much already with Active Directory. And I'll just bring up VirtualBox to show kind of what that looks like on a newer system. So we've got, oh, you know what? I don't have a newer one on here. Let's look at Server 2008. While we're in that for load, what is the name of the other user account? That would be TryHackMe Billy. What group is this user a member of? So let's take a look at TryHackMe Billy. He is a member of the remote desktop users and just users. What built-in account is for guest access? I'm going to guess guest. What is the account status? Should be disabled. General. Yep, right there. Account is disabled. Don't want guests messing around on your servers. It's bad juju. User account control. So user account control is basically if you don't have administrative privileges or you need to elevate your privileges for something you wouldn't normally be able to do, that's what UAC is for. Um, yep, right here by default does not apply for the built-in local administrator account. So when a user with an account type of administrator logs into a system, the current session doesn't run with elevated permissions. When an operation requiring higher level privileges needs to execute, the user will be prompted to confirm if they permit the operation to run. And I think that's something that we had go on here. Oh, we already ran it as UAC. So let's do Wireshark. This one should ask for elevated control, I believe. Open. See, it asks us if we really want to run it. We'll say we do. Having us install Wireshark. User account control. I cannot type today for some reason. So that's doing that. Let's move on to the next one. Control panel. So if you right click on your start menu, excuse me. Ooh. Just say install. It wants us to go into it. Okay, so start. It's being finicky with me. It's starting to slow down on me. All right, so this is your control panel in here. Let's see if we try and do that. All right, control panel. Let's say we want to look at network and internet. And we're going to change adapter options. So we're going to go to the Network and Sharing Center, change adapter settings. That takes us to there. Now, close this, save wallpaper. Got a few options there. The last setting of the control panel view. Okay, let's do believe it's Windows Update, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Windows Defender Firewall. Because we are on a server. All right, Task Manager. Right click, Task Manager. Or right click, Task Manager. Several ways to get here. And look at more details. You can see your CPU usage, your memory usage. I'm going to show you here. This is going to be probably super weird. Also, I need to close this. So we're going to say this is my server that I'm running in a virtual box. Or in virtual box, I should say, not in a virtual box. I'm going to shut this guy down. I'm going to do some videos on server setups and Active Directory further down the line. All right, let's go back to here. And performance. So this shows you your network traffic on this particular device. The server only has 2 gigs of RAM, of which 1.2 is in use. There's only 769 megabytes available. CPU, it's not being used too heavily. Users, this will tell you which users are logged in, what services are running. This tells you the process ID of those services. This gives their name, their description, whether they're stopped or running, all that good stuff. Now this is new to me. Keyboard shortcut to open Task Manager. I didn't even know there was a keyboard shortcut to open Task Manager. Oh, I thought it, of course, Control plus Alt plus delete. They don't want that. All right, let's try. Is there another keyboard shortcut that I'm not aware of? Windows plus X, maybe? I don't like that answer either. Okay. So let's see what other search results show up. Control Shift Escape. Let's see if that's the answer they were looking for. There we go. So see, I didn't even know that. Learn something new every day. I knew Control Delete. what happened. And my other screen. That wasn't very nice. It's my Twitch studio. Let's edit the scene. All right. Cancel. All right, I guess I'll have to stop this for a minute and come back in.